I don't know what's next. Fucking whales.
Imagine a bunch of billionaires drowned in the middle of the ocean because one whale said no. Free Willy, no.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cancellable Podcast. My name is Bardia. I'm here with Faisal
Hey guys.
and Kurosh
What's up?
and the returning guest star, Ebrahim.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
It
coming
was,
back.
it was a great episode last time.
It was amazing.
yeah. How did your fans like it?
Oh, they loved it.
Yeah?
They loved it. They wanted me to be back, and I'm pretty sure your fans also told
Oh,
you.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of comments. Everyone was like kind of roasting us for not having you back
Right,
sooner.
just kick Faisal out and replace me.
All right, you guys deal with your family shit.
The one family member in the thing is fine.
we lock the door. Whoever comes out.
Imagine we come back, they're both dead. Like, we're like fuck. Like,
Both napping. They took over the podcast. Like, they're just
imagine the shooting is like, we just wanted them gone. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back. Glad to have you back. And last episode was a lot of fun. We had some topics that we said we're going to continue on this. Well, I know we've prepared some other. As you guys can see, they have like their notes in front of them. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
we did talk about the UFO one last time that we're going to get back to. And
Bro, you complain when I stare into like the sun.
it's just that he smiled and looked at you like, I was like,
I'm being a supporting
You look
friend.
good today. Yum, yum.
yo. So, and good thing that they came out saying that aliens are real.
Oh, yeah. It was yesterday.
It was
Yesterday.
yesterday,
Yeah,
July
yesterday.
26th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
I have something alien related prepared for you. If
Nice.
you remember last time I told you I'll have it prepared.
Yes,
So we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And let's jump
But we
into it.
thought you start with your topics. We'll keep the alien shit for the end because I think yours is more
All right.
scary. Than
You
this
seem
one.
very excited for it, so yeah.
All right. What should we
Worlds.
talk about? Pick a genre.
Not Pikachu. I've seen the videos. Like every comment was like, "It's CG. It's an animation."
It's AI. Yeah. The pictures were AI, but
No, but
conspiracy is valid.
Ibrahim, that's the thing. I love that people were like, "That's an AI generated photo." Of course it is.
Yeah, you
Like of course, like
dumbasses,
sometimes it's
AI is too new, so we're not too prepared for exactly what's going to prepare for us. But what was it you say?
What?
What was it you
He
just
said pick a genre, but
Pick a genre. I thought it was the name. I was like, pick a genre.
Let
I
me
was
tell you
like,
what I've been doing recently on TikTok. So
Okay.
I've been going all out on the LGBT.
oh, I've seen it.
Full
Yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah.
hard. Yeah. Why? Because I fucking hate them. Honestly. I
that's
hate
the
them.
genre we're going.
And
What was it?
They're-
Ghost shit.
their agenda has been exposed. It's very clear that they're trying to announce MAPS as a sexuality, which is
Minor attractive person.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I
yeah.
didn't
This
know
is
that.
the agenda. So like so it started off with LGB, then it became LGBT, then it became LGBTQ, then plus, and then LGBTQ plus IA, and now we have we have more letters than the alphabet in their
HDMI
tag.
TV. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the vibe.
LGHD TV.
Yeah.
And
What's the IA one?
I have no idea.
It's
Okay.
AI, but it doesn't consider itself AI. It's
No,
like
you can't
I'm-
gender. Yeah.
I'm not an artificial.
and MAPS M is going to be coming soon.
no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Wait,
Bro.
first, can you explain
Obviously.
what MAPS is?
Pedophiles
Pedophiles.
are now being renamed. Like how people who are
I'm attracted to minors.
minor attracted person
Yeah.
is the map. So pedophiles now. Yo, no. How is that a sexuality?
Like someone would say I'm attracted to minors.
So someone would say I'm attracted to a door and
They do.
like and make a.
It's valid if you say that.
No, but look, you guys. I think what you have to discuss here is, first of all of that stuff is bullshit, right? When you talk about it coming to plus minus binary, non-binary, AI, whatever, IA.
Ones and zeros. Like, it's like-
But Ibrahim, that's always been the case. That's always been the case where people, especially people who have nothing better to do, right, come up with fights out there that aren't real fights, right? Instead of people trying to tackle poverty, trying to tackle, prosecution due to your religious beliefs, and taking people's lives for unjust causes like war for gain. People aren't interested with that. They're more fancy about, I identify as this, or I identify as someone who.
But people are pissed off because they're pushing agendas in schools
Yeah.
to 3-year-olds,
Please
4-year-olds.
just go on because
There are children in the States. Alhamdulillah, this is not the States. We're not living there, but there are children in the States going to school, and then there's a class that they are allowed to identify as whatever they want.
By the way, you have to be very careful with what you say, because the U.S. itself is cut on this situation. You have the South that are very against it, and they have these laws that are going out that kids who are transgender and stuff still have to go to their gender-assigned bathrooms. So in the U.S., it's a big divide, and actually, the Americans are the biggest ones who are talking against it.
True, a lot of Americans are talking against it, but it is happening mostly in the U.S. It's in the West. It's France, U.S., U.K., Canada.
Basically, westernized cultures.
Yeah.
But
the
can
minor
you
attractive
elaborate?
one, though.
No. I'm not. I really want to hear more because, like, when you're saying that's the agenda, so like this whole movement started with them like saying, okay, now feel petty, like feel inclusive regarding transgenders, and then this and that.
No, the agenda didn't start like that. The agenda started with gay people wanted to be accepted.
Okay.
Then they got accepted. By the way, the rainbow flag existed for a very long time. It's not new. I remember being in London. I was in Soho, an area called Soho. And I remember walking, and there were like bars on my right that had that flag. And this was when I was like 14 years old.
Oh, that's been around since like the 60s, 70s, the rainbow flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's been around.
So
But it didn't have so many categories.
didn't have
under
that many colors, I guess. I think the colors were less, maybe.
Oh,
No,
so
I think
that's why
No,
they're
then it
doing-
wouldn't be a rainbow. It would just
That's
be
why they're doing so many letters. They're trying to match the 7 colors. Like
they're way past. There's like
Yeah,
72.
yeah.
LGBTQ.
AI plus minor.
AI.
Now they were like the rainbow doesn't have a lot of colors, so just put a plus there for the rest.
But then a non-binary category came out where they identify as they, them, So if you're a non-binary, I would say, Bardia, they really like cars. But I could say you because that's plural. So you can identify as a group of people. And you can be attracted to female or male, but such things don't exist. You can be a woman that is a transgender woman, or you can be a man or a transgender man.
See, I'm not very lost on the concept of like gay, bisexual, lesbian, transgender because it's been around for a while. This whole
Also, there's a clear definition to it.
yeah, gay likes man,
Yeah.
les likes woman. Like it goes like that.
These types of people can't identify what a woman is. What is a woman? A woman is someone that wants to identify as a woman.
No, what was the guy?
Did you see that documentary?
Walsh.
Yeah.
Matt Walsh? Yeah.
Matt Walsh. It got banned in the US.
Bro,
It's
on
banned.
YouTube, that guy.
No, but there's an agenda that's out there, and you have to remember that even now, looking at sports, you have previously assigned men going into women's football,
Football,
Swimming,
swimming, volleyball,
all of these things.
mixed
and
martial arts.
mixed-
Why not boxing?
They
Oh,
one
they're
actually
trying to-
went to MMA.
And-
Oh, really?
And
Yeah. He beat he didn't disclose it. Well, he transitioned to she, and then she didn't disclose it to anyone else. No one knew. So she started beating the fuck out of some women. Then she met a real female fighter, like a high-ranking one, and the biological one beat the living fuck out of the she. But they're in every sport now.
Who was it? They said that there was a guy who was like number 30th in
we
like,
talked about this
track and field, whatever, and then switched genders, and now they're number 1. They're killing the
Breaking
game.
every
Bro,
record.
he
Yeah.
was ranked 147, something like that, in the hundreds.
I was way off that.
And a lot of people are saying that it's a very stupid idea to have, because you don't see women transgendering into men and then going into men's sports.
Yeah.
You don't see
Because
any.
You don't see
'cause you-
WNBA transitioning to like a man, like going to NBA game. That's a whole.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the maps, and this is like really fucking me up. Like it's boiling my blood right now.
See, what pisses me off about these people is
Okay.
we have to accept their ideologies. But when you have an idea, let's say you're Muslim, your ideology is you are against gay sex, gay marriage, gay relationships. But that's not acceptable. But you have to accept theirs, but they can't accept yours. And you can notice that in congresses or in conferences or hearings, as soon as you start to question their ideologies, they get so triggered, they start raising their voice, they start shouting. None of them can have a fucking diplomatic conversation. None of them can.
See, we talked.
They don't even have a proper spokesperson.
The thing that we mentioned before on one of the episodes is that like the whole one thing that drives this whole agenda and everything a lot is the whole concept that it's victimizing yourself and therefore I'm right automatically. So if you argue against me, you're in the wrong and I'm in the right.
Yeah.
So again, like when I said like I am not lost on the concept of a lesbian and gay and all that, because like this hasn't been just like the past decade, 20 years or like a century.
Yeah.
That like people have been gay or anything like that. Okay, that's just been around for a while.
Yeah.
So that's that. Like, but I really want you to get into the whole maps thing because that's fucking me up. Because like,
I will. Who are okay? Let me go very slowly. Faisal, you know about the ESG score. We talked about that. So have you
Yeah,
heard
I think
about?
you mentioned it last time. Did you mention it last
I
time?
don't think so.
No, I never did.
It's about
I made a video about it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I was really intrigued with how a lot of big brands like McDonald's, Toshiba, Dell, Apple, Mercedes, like any very big brand would overly drastically support the LGBT on Pride Month specifically.
Okay.
They would change their logos, they would change their packaging items, they would change a lot of things and just have the rainbow flag on everything they sell. And everywhere inside the stores as well. I was like, why are they doing this? Why are these companies doing this? And then I found out that, BlackRock Incorporation, it's one of the world's biggest funders. Very, very big. They kind of sometimes, well, most of the times they make the rules in banking systems.
Okay.
They're owned by, it's a public company, kind of, but it's also owned by majority shares, owned by very big elites. They're the ones that put a social credit system called the ESG score. And for companies to qualify for big fundings and big loans is if they have a high ESG score. The only way to get a high ESG score, well, one out of 3 ways is to have
Pride
to
Month.
support Pride Month. So it is an agenda. They have to support it. The more they support it, the closer they are for the big.
It's like in
fund.
Hollywood, if you want to be nominated
Yeah.
for an award, you need to be inclusive.
Yes.
It's not racial anymore. It's like you need to be inclusive of minority of genders, such as the LGBTQ,
Yes. But now,
the cuties.
if the elites put this as a criteria, why did they do this? Why are the elites like let's say the Rothschilds? Why did they put this as a criteria? Why is this a criteria for a banking system?
Is it because like the elite have been known because
No, the elites have a plan. They want to do something, right? They want people to be fully awake and accept the LGBT community.
Yeah, but like because of Epstein and everything else, we've seen that like there is a sort of connection or correlation between elite and like the rich and powerful with them and children.
Maps.
So is that what you're?
I believe so. Because if you accept this community, first of all, it's a win-win for them. Because if you're gay, if a lot of people are gay, you are cutting population. Because you can't have kids if you fuck guys, right?
True. Yeah.
And if women fuck women, they
Yeah.
can't have kids too.
And if you
So it is-
transition, you can't have a child.
Exactly. So they want to cut population. That's number 1 priority. Number 2 priority is these rich people like children. and they want their sexuality to be accepted by giving the LGBT community a very huge and powerful validation.
Why? What's up with
you
the
know,
obsession of
I'll
the
tell you,
rich?
I have a theory, and I mean, it might be correct, might be wrong, but this is what I strongly believe. If you're someone who has all the money in the world, right?
Okay.
With money comes what? Power, right? And you have people that, especially in this world, don't have money. So imagine a man, a woman, whatever, has everything she could ever want, he want with money. He can buy it. An example, a man, he wants a model, he wants an actress. He just has to pay some money. He could get one. He could date one because he's wealthy. He has a car. It becomes boring to the person because now everything you've wanted, it's always you want to reach for a branch that's higher, right? So I feel like they do all of this and it loses that sensation of excitement. So now what's the next step for me?
Go on Ocean Gate
They did.
and die. Like better than fucking.
what
chill.
By the way, only 2 of them were billionaires, huh? The other 2 were not.
The other 3 were invited, I guess. So like,
Rich, but not elite kind of like.
Billionaires,
But the thing is that you see, I think that, and it's always when you give someone power, they become distorted by it because now you're going with younger and younger women. You sort of lose it, and you go, you know what? I myself, I'm not saying all of them are like this, but I feel like the temptation is there, and that's why, power is in exact relation to temptation because now I have everything. I want to be with someone who's a minor. I want
I don't get
kids.
the temptation though.
Well,
Forget about even the sexuality part of it. Like let's say you're a 30-something-year-old, 40-year-old guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't even talk to a person that's 22. Like,
who says you want to talk to them?
yeah,
But
but
like,
okay.
I don't.
Do you think
I
Epstein
just
talked to them?
I can't
I
digest
mean,
it.
Epstein traffic though, but like, can
Yeah.
I?
He did it
can
himself
I,
also.
Yeah, can I ask?
That
a
was like
question here?
testing the market to see like what's good, what's
That's
not.
fucked up, man.
No, for real, he would.
Grabs the grapes.
No, yeah, no grabbing. Yeah.
No, but like, wait, I have a question. So, like, based on your theory, I didn't mean to say like do this. It's like based on your theory, is that like, oh, because you can have everything, you want to have something that's not like off limits, basically.
The forbidden fruit.
The forbidden apple. So, my question is like, okay, let's say you can. It's fucked up in general even saying it, but like let's say you can have the forbidden apple. Okay. It's something about like, oh, because I'm the elite, I want to have this that no one else can have. Or because I'm the elite, I love this and this is my thing now. Like, you know what I mean?
but
Like
that's the
being
thing.
a map is that you're identifying as someone who is just like their pure sexuality attraction is towards younger, like under the age people. And we're not talking about like 17 here. We're talking about like minor doesn't just cut it at 17. That's
No, it's like 12, 13, younger.
that's a
like,
fucked up part that's fucking me
That's
up,
why
man.
they're teaching kids.
No, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying here. You have to remember, this is how much they've lost the plot. Rather than fighting for people who actually lives are in danger, people who are being put in imprisonment camps in China and all this, they're fighting for people who find children attractive. And this is becoming a message that's going out there. People who, I feel in danger when someone misgenders me. That is, and you see, you talk about BlackRock, you talk about this. ESG itself is, like he said, different concepts to it. There's a social concept to it. There's an environmental concept, which I think is important, right? And there's a corporate governance aspect where companies have to work ethically, like no children's work labs, are they called, or workshops?
Manufacturing.
Workshops.
Yeah.
Sweatshops.
But
This falls under social.
yes, but also in corporate governance, it means the governance of the company itself. The company works in an ethic way. Now, the thing about what he's saying is that in the US and more liberal places, let's put the parentheses here, yeah, like France and all these things, I feel like this message of yes, let's have these people who associate themselves with animals or whatever, or they identify themselves as these things. Let's put them in the front So people are just completely whitewashed with this. They're washed with that. And then people will forget about, oh yeah, at the same time when those people on Ocean Gate were died, at the same time a ship going to Greece with illegal immigrants died. And I think around 300 people, around 300 people drowned. But that was never in the news. At the same time, Korosh even mentioned it, that Epstein was involved with JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs? JP Morgan. So you see, you have to remember.
Bingo.
Yeah, but but you have to remember something. How do I control the masses without telling them my plan? I'm like a magician. Look at my puppet hand. Look at the hand, while I do something else with my other hand. And that's the thing. It's like, how is this hiring? We hired these people who are transgender and did this. How is that actually affecting the world's problems we have?
Yeah, but that's assuming the people in charge are good, kind-hearted people that are reach their position in order to make the world a better place and not to make money.
Okay,
that's a wrong assumption.
Okay, please, someone side with me on this. There's no way that any person that makes it to the elite and makes it to be the one with the big B and the capital B billionaire is all bad.
Who said bad? Who said all of them are bad?
No, not all of them are bad.
No,
but
but
let me. I want to give my thoughts on this as well. They reached a point where they have so much money. Pretty girls are boring for them now. They tried more. What's the word?
Pretty boys.
No. A wilder side by going homosexual. That got boring too because they paid too many guys to do it with.
Pish posh.
Now it's children. I don't know what's next. Fucking whales. Animals.
I don't know, man. That I don't think that's.
Imagine a bunch of billionaires drowned in the middle of the ocean because one whale said no.
Nobody's no.
Free Willy, no.
That's why the orca whales are fucking on boats now because they're preparing. They know what's happening.
Bro, that's terrifying, man.
Let me.
Back a shark.
Now that I showed you how dark the LGBT is, well, I kind of hinted it to you, right? I want you to look up the chakra system on your phone. The chakra system, CHAKRA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the meditation thingy?
No,
It has to do with it has to do with Hinduism, I believe.
Chinese,
Buddhism.
So Buddhism and Eastern medicine philosophy believes in chakra system where your body has these energy flows that go through
What
it.
would you like to know about this?
So every color in the chakra system determines an energy center in our bodies that are linked to certain nerves.
Yes.
It starts from the root chakra, which is the red chakra, all the way at the bottom. And the top is the purple chakra, which is called the crown chakra, right?
Yes, correct.
Now pull up the LGBT flag.
Oh no.
Oh my god, because I'm looking at it. What the fuck?
No, pull up the LGBT
All
flag.
right, I'm we're gonna pull it
we'll
up
put
on
it
the
on
thing.
screen, yeah.
So just to show everyone, show the guys,
All right, now compare the both.
this is the.
All right, flip this upside down. Flip it upside down.
Just 1 second. I
All
want to
right.
pull up the flag as well.
Its hands aren't that fast, man.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, it is the same.
Yeah,
No,
upside down.
but it's upside down.
Yeah.
The weakest chakra is at the top on the flag, and the strongest chakra
Is at the bottom.
is at the bottom.
I don't know, man.
That's the LGBT flag, and
I
it
don't
is
know.
in the exact same order.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like that's a leap.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you're just connecting coincidences because
No,
it
but
serves your point. No, because
Purple, red, purple.
No, but even if that was the case, are they sapping my energy? Yeah, because they talk too much. That's what they're doing. But
Yeah,
I don't
but
think.
What is
it's-
the root chakra connected to?
balls.
No, it's in the nerve centers that are down there, right?
I mean, this.
But why is that at the top of the flag? Because that's number one.
That's very true, though. It's all about sex.
I don't know. I think it's
And why is everything that has to do with your pineal gland, your brain, your thinking, your analyzing all the way at the bottom? Because that's what they want to.
No, but this is under the assumption that we flip it.
Coincidence.
Okay, and also
Coincidence? Maybe.
more likely than not.
Maybe.
No, it's a good, like, you see, the thing is that, you see, you found the correlation, you saw it, right? Now, either whoever, first of all, the LGBTQ, whatever, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, their flag, I don't think they designed it themselves, right? They took it from the rainbow flag, right?
Rainbow.
What is a rainbow?
It's
Like,
it's a naturally made thing.
Yeah, I know, but why are these
Are you
colors like very specific in that order?
It's no, okay, so
Pull up a rainbow.
let's get a rainbow in here.
Water hose.
But a rainbow is because of the hue. Like it's light
The way
bouncing
light
off.
breaks down. And I remember we studied in high school.
Rainbow, basically, if I'm not mistaken, is that it's when light hits like a cloud or something. If there's water in the air.
It's true. On rainbows, the red is on the top. Real rainbows.
It's no.
So
It depends on the rainbow you're looking at. But
if it's a gay rainbow, it could be.
Basically, the 7 colors in the rainbow is basically all the colors. Like, you know how there's like primary colors and like secondary colors because of the mix and all that shit. Like, it's basically like when the light goes through like the prism. Remember the triangular cube?
But I can imagine me and you now, whenever we see rainbow, get that song, bitch! Like, start hitting it with a stick.
So you are from the south that you mentioned. No, but it's just basically a reflection. Like it's like as it goes through it, it's like one line going through it, and then like the rays all like expand, therefore giving us the 7 colors. That's like you don't see it black and white because that's like lack of color and all colors. Like that's what's up. Like this.
I just kind of lost the plot. What are we talking about right now? Like
No,
we went to
but like, I was
science of rainbow.
No, because I wanted to go back to this. Like, the rainbow, yes, but was used by that community to be represented by it, correct? But like, it could be that like the chakra system has been like around for ages. Like, it's not like a
Decades, yeah.
more like we were talking about Buddhism. This is not
Hinduism as well, yeah.
Yeah, but Buddhism.
Yeah, centuries. It's not decades.
So if I'm not mistaken, Buddhism actually originated from India.
And no, Buddhism actually originated from Persia.
Really?
Yeah, from the Zoroastrian religion.
That's so not
That-
halal, bro.
What?
That's so not halal.
What?
That's so not halal, bro.
Why Zoroastrian?
Yeah,
Dog,
because
you're talking Persians here.
Persia's an Islamic empire.
No, but
yeah, 35 years ago it wasn't the case. Let's relax a little bit on that.
I heard you guys had casinos there and stuff.
We had everything, bro.
Yeah.
We
They were
were
like-
the Dubai
Right,
of
Iran was
Middle
Vegas.
East.
It was the
like,
Dubai, yeah.
We had
Iran was
everything.
Vegas.
Yeah, we had everything, bro.
No, but like no, this is talking about 1,000 years ago. Like basically, the Zoroastrian religion was the first religion that believed in one God. So like Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they all believe in one God, and so the Zoroastrian. That was the first religion that did that as well. When the Islamic territory started to expand and grow and take over other countries, one of the main countries that they did take over was Persia. And when they did that, Zoroastrians good amount did fled the country and went to India. Okay. And that inspired the whole religion of Buddhism. That's where like a lot of things of Zoroastrian does translate into the Buddhism religion itself as well.
But I don't think.
But anyways, like we're going off the genres that like are listed, but
I don't know. I take more of a middle ground view to this. I think the LGBTQ whatever it started as a good thing. To protect a class that exists that was getting abuse and all of that.
Yeah.
And then all these agendas that we can't necessarily prove, but there's signs of it there. They kind of are using that nowadays as like a front to push their agenda on it, whatever the purpose is. If it's rich people and the fuck kids and all of that. But I don't think it was a calculated thing from the beginning. I think in the beginning it was just to protect a class that was being suppressed, and then as usual it got taken.
he's completely right about this though. Like the whole concept of the cuties is that like you can't say shit about them now.
Stop calling them cuties because it makes you sound like one of them.
No, okay.
Better watch your mouth, boy.
The LGBT whatever, right? Like
He's
it's
gonna put his dick in it.
No, because that's my word.
I want to tell
but-
you a story of a person that is linked to this topic, but after what you
I just want to say that you are right because like the whole concept of them, okay, that category, I don't want to even say them, like that category is that whatever it falls under, you can't say anything against them. You're automatically in the wrong if you say anything against it. So if you grab that M and drop it under that like alphabet, right?
I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I don't think that's one agenda that even in Western
my
countries.
hope is that will
No.
never happen.
Even
It
in Western
terrifies me.
countries, like I don't think that's something that's ever gonna be accepted.
True.
Like even if they don't give pushback, which they do to like because everything we hear is from the loudmouths on social media.
Yeah.
But in reality, if you ask majority of people, even in America and UK, all of that, most people have pretty modest views on it.
Very true.
But
Even
with
people
the,
under that category, but
Yeah,
gay people
100%.
don't fucking
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it like this shit. Like,
But with the child molestation stuff, I don't think there's ever gonna be a time that anyone is gonna accept it, other than those people, the very, very few loudmouths that have alternative agendas that are using that as a cover. I don't think that's ever gonna be the case.
because it's never okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
fuck kids.
Roman
Like,
times,
But dude, that's the
The Roman times they fuck each other as well, but it's never okay to fuck with
they
kids.
fuck kids.
It's still never okay to like.
Oh, I'm saying in Roman times it was okay.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that was.
in ancient times, yeah, dude.
So the way young boys, they would pick an older guy as their mentor, and one of the parts of it was the older guy would fuck him, and that was accepted part of society.
Bro, the Greeks had a unit, right, called the sacred band, yeah, of men, and it would be one older man and one younger man, and they'd be lovers, and they were very good fighters, and yeah.
Anyways, tell your story. And let's move on to the next round. I think my blood pressure is like high right now. I feel my eyes are hot.
Hope you guys are enjoying this comedy podcast that we brought to you
Alright.
today.
Jesus
So,
Christ.
have you heard of this woman, named Nora Vincent?
Nope.
Does it ring a bell? So Nora Vincent was a radical feminist. She was an activist in every single community that most people dislike, pretty much. But she was mostly a feminist. She was just a radical feminist, and she believed that men's lives are easier than women. Men are mean, men are evil, men are bad.
I know who this is. Yeah.
All right, and so she decided to disguise herself as a man for 2 years.
Damn.
After 18 months, she decided to stop the experiment because she couldn't believe that men are being treated like trash by women. She couldn't believe that this was a thing that men had to go through every single day. And she committed suicide
Yeah,
by doing an experiment of going in disguise as a man.
You can't handle it, bro. You can't fucking handle it. You see this? This is stone walls built
You know,
around.
I respect Nora Vincent.
A lot.
for killing herself.
Maybe your spirit is hearing me right now. Respect for this experiment, but I just wanted to say I told you so.
No, but actually, I think her work was really good, because she even said it in an interview. She was like, they go through a lot, and just because they're not vocal about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
She
right?
cries. She cries when she talks about
Yeah.
how men are treated by women. She's like, I can't believe that this is actually a thing.
Yo, by the way, how the fuck did she disguise herself for 18 months and no one was like,
Have you seen
you
White
would
Chicks?
do? Yeah, by the way, white chicks, I'm surprised no one knew. That was like
Bro, they look scary, but I mean, I would.
They look fucking
built like NFL players.
Yo, that
You know, they actually looked more manly with the women makeup on than they did as they
Yeah.
are. As they are, they're like
especially
skinny little
the,
dudes.
And the
like-
contact
especially
lenses
the
thing.
older Wayne brother, the one with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
goatee.
yeah.
Like that one was like, what you talking about? Like, no, but fuck, that distracted me. The white chicks, that shit, the scene where they have the person is lactose intolerant and goes to the
Oh
bathroom.
my god,
that
yeah.
shit cracks me up.
I actually
so
watched it
much.
last week. Yeah.
Still on Netflix, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm
Yeah.
not done with what,
But,
because that part is like grabbing the toilet seat.
Oh,
The best part of that movie is when he goes to dinner with Terry Crews. I don't know if you remember or not. He's like
Yeah.
biting the toenails, like throwing it in his glass and all of that.
What's the song called? On My Way Downtown.
Oh,
man, that scene for me.
please
You know when he did the.
Imagine. Imagine you slid in my car and like, like you're like,
I feel like that's his real character. Like,
Terry
that's how he
Crews?
acts, even now he's a host at AGT. That's how he
He's a
acts, like
bitch.
in real life.
he really,
Like he's
of
so
course he
muscular
doesn't
and like.
I don't
Bro,
like
he's
that
built
guy.
like a fridge, and he had a guy fondle him, and he was like, "I was too scared to speak."
He's
Politics.
the biggest pussy in Hollywood that I've heard of. I hate that guy so fucking
I don't
much.
hate him, but
Have you heard the story of him getting diddled and shit?
by who?
By a fucking executive, and
Why
he
not?
couldn't say anything. You don't know this?
What does diddled mean?
Like someone grabbed his balls in a party in front of his wife.
Oh, okay.
Like an executive, and he came out during the Me Too. Not even during the Me Too movement. After it was over, he came out. He's like, "Yeah, I was sexually assaulted too, but I was scared I'm gonna lose my career. So my wife told me don't punch him in the face." I'm like, a grown ass man. Someone grabbed your balls, just slap his hand away. Like, stop being a little bitch and like coming on TV after. You know it's fine and everyone's showing support and everything. Shut the fuck up. Like, I really
But that's when you sell your soul, right? So
But
that's
look
why
at
I
how
lost.
big he is.
Bro, imagine being the executive who went up to him and goes, I like that.
Yeah, he probably could sniff out how big of a bitch he is.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, balls? Don't think so.
Anyways,
Pussy stank.
let's go to the next genre because I feel like we're really like still. Like, you have like 15 pages.
So in the last podcast, I spoke about the Shams al-Ma'arif book.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on TikTok, because they see my videos, they say that, okay, khalas, they rate it as the world's most dangerous book. But it is not the world's most dangerous book. The world's most dangerous book is actually called Al-Ghazali. Now, some people believe that it was written by an imam that was named Al-Ghazali before, but it is not him.
So Al-Ghazali is like.
Al-Ghazali is actually a book that is believed to be written by jinns themselves. They are the authors, and people that talk to jinns were the ones writing their words down in the book. Shams al-Ma'arif starts off with verses of the Quran. It just teaches you how to do black magic, how to clear black magic, some other rituals that are not dangerous, some things that are very bad. And you can't find the very, very original copy of Shams al-Ma'arif, but you can find at least half of the original words. Al-Ghazali, on the other hand, is nothing like Shams al-Ma'arif. It is a ritual from start to finish. It is a short book. And for you to read this book, you need to... Okay, so black magicians, black magic, people that do...
I don't say nothing.
You laugh.
no, he smiled because you're like,
Yeah.
black magicians.
So people who do witchcraft and black magic, there are like, when you enter that realm of jinns, you have like a pretty much, I don't know how to phrase this, but it's like a rank system, or you need to like, you earn your way up. For you to have access to Al-Ghazali book, you need to be at a very certain high rank or level in their world. Mm-hmm. You need to earn to read this book. And if you don't have that certain, what's the word?
Ranking, status.
If you don't have that certain status, then very bad things will happen to you if you read this book. If you, you pretty much need permission to read this book. It's so lethal that I've seen videos of imams, they don't even want to touch the book. Sheikhs, bro, they don't want to touch the book. They wear gloves while they go through the papers. It's that bad. The good news is there are no original copies online. There are no the exact Al-Ghazali online. But people say there are very few and very certain specific museums. You know, like very, very few. So how did people get rid of this book was previous civilizations about 300, 400, 500 years ago, they burned all the copies of this book because most civilizations back then in this region were very Islamic. And this was forbidden. And they were illegal in the Islamic states. So they did what they had to do so no one else can find this book anymore. So the online versions are not the real Al-Ghazali book. But the Al-Ghazali book is the world's most dangerous book. You cannot read this. If you read this, actual bad things will happen to you. Just having it in your house, bad things will happen to you.
What was the purpose of the
It is a
book being
ritual.
created?
So what's the ritual for?
What does it achieve?
So while you work your way up in that realm of witchcraft, you get certain things that they provide you. You are pretty much privileged. For you to get this ritual, you need to be very privileged. It is a ritual that is very powerful. I don't know what this ritual does. I'm not sure. I don't know what kind of spells are in Al-Ghazali book, but only the very high status witchcraft type of people know what this book is. And we don't even have these types of people living in our age today. We don't have them. Because back then in Moses' days, there were people that did black magic that would turn sticks into snakes when they throw them on the floor.
Like Moses style.
Yeah, like black magic was very powerful back then. It is nothing compared to today.
Wait, sorry. Like, but if you need to continue,
No, that's it.
yeah, because the thing is that like from turning a stick to a snake is known for what Moses did. You know how Moses part the sea. Like one of his things was like he part the sea, the grasshoppers.
Locust. That was locust, but that was a punishment from God.
Yeah, but also to kind of exhibit how he is powerful
No,
and he is like.
What he exhibited was that he made the river Nile turn red with blood. He also turned his staff into a snake.
Yeah.
And also what he did is that he was it him? No, that was Prophet Isa. No, or Jesus. That's what they say is that he turned water into wine.
No, water to wine is Jesus, but as a continuation of the days since the warning, was like as his meeting with the Pharaoh, to exhibit of his power, he turned his staff to snake. Following the days, the first was I believe was the turning the river Nile to like red
blood.
The second one was what was it?
Lotus.
No. So you have to remember something, yeah? He twice tried to prove that there is only one God and it is, the Pharaoh needs to let the people go, right? Didn't listen. There were 2 signs where he said that, listen, if you don't do this, you'll be beset by a plague of locusts. And those locusts came to Egypt, ate all the crops, attacked people.
That's the one.
And then also after that, there was apparently... He said to him, this is your final warning. God will punish all the newborn sons. Same to as how the Pharaoh had killed Jews at the time, which was said at the time. So he said that at night a light will come, and if you do not use sheep's blood on your door, you do not put it on your door, it means you are not a believer, and the light will come and take your child's life. That was the final nail in the coffin for that.
So,
but the affiliation between humans and jinns thousands of years ago was way more powerful than what it is today. Today, the only thing you can do with the jinn is speak to them, do the rituals, do the things they ask you to do, and maybe put a spell on people. Like you've seen these talasim things where they draw things on people's pictures. They use their strands of hair. That's black magic today. Back then, it was not like this. It was way more powerful. For example, this is not black magic, but it is a human with jinn affiliation. Prophet Sulaiman, have you heard of him?
Yes.
He used to speak to animals and jinns.
He was the king.
He was king. Yeah, he was King Solomon.
Yeah.
He was king. Both. He used to speak to animals, ants, jinns, everything. He used to know all these languages with these creatures. And he moved Queen Balqis's palace from one continent to another in a blink of an eye. He moved a palace from a continent to where he was in a blink of an eye by the help of jinns.
So
by the help of jinns, he did that.
Story-wise, not
jinns are very, 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 very powerful. They are things that are way beyond what we can expect. Doing these small rituals that happen today is not something that actually takes a lot of their time or energy. Witchcraft back then was very powerful. They could move, levitate things. They used to, Faisal.
I'm just wondering about how if you read the book and you'd get like, yo, what's your rank, bro? Level 2? Get the hell out of here!
The guys with a headset. What the fuck are you doing here, noob?
GG, bro. But that's the thing. Like you know how you talk about it and you say that this book, no one wanted to touch it. You had to be privileged or a certain level of wizardry, Gandalf level,
yes,
or something like that. But how would you get that? Like who comes and audits you and says, you know what, you are a level 55 paladin?
No, but I believe in every cult. I'm not saying that, but in every cult there is a leader there is a
Yes,
certain
they
like
have their
rule
internal-
and, like,
they have their internal
criteria.
people.
So who measures it then?
They have their own rank system in their world, right? You are
In the
either-
jinns world.
In the jinns world, you are either like I don't know, a pioneer. Okay, that's the lowest you can
Nope.
be, and then above that there are people. There are jinns that are in charge of thousands. Above them, there's thousands that are in charge of other thousands. And
yeah,
it's like a
pyramid
pyramid.
scheme type,
Yeah,
like-
it's a pyramid. So the third or fourth level decides or determines what rank you are.
So
It is a jinn that actually has charge, actually has power and authority.
So you're saying that so as a human and you read this book, first of all, my question would be, how do you yourself? First of all, who is in control? If you are a very powerful, or let's say as a witch or a wizard or whatever you want to call it, you say that there's certain levels. Are you in control of the jinns, or are the jinns in control of you?
It's both.
So it's a
both.
partnership.
It's a partnership. They tell you to. You're talking about today witchcraft.
No,
not
I'm talking about this book. So
this book. No, this book does not exist. It is irrelevant because we don't know. I don't know. No one knows how people used to use Al-Ghazali before.
So how do they know there's a
They
ranking
don't-
system?
Huh?
So how do they know there's a ranking system?
No, this information obviously has been passed on. You know, so there are things that are you could say like a legacy. They know about, like things that are confirmed about this book. But what this book actually does specifically, because we don't even have the real copy, right? They burned all these copies. There are a lot of scriptures that were written about this.
You said 500 years ago?
About 300 to 500 years ago, all the Islamic civilizations burned the real copies of Al-Ghazali. If there is one copy left, it is somewhere hidden that you can see from a glass and it's closed. It's sealed. You will never be able to read it.
I mean, did you get the answer to your question? Cause
No, I didn't. But I mean, how do you expect Ebrahim to know it? Because
Yeah, of
if
course,
no one
there's
knows,
no-
no, I'm not. I'm just saying that.
There are rip-off versions, by the way. I've seen people take pictures and videos of Al-Ghazali book. You know, it's all rip-off. All rip-off. Obviously, there are some things that were extracted from Shams al-Ma'arif put in that book to make it have some sort of relevancy, but it's not the real Ghazali.
I have two questions for you. One is, do you know what happened to this tribe? Like they burnt all the books and everything, but this tribe of witches,
Islamic
or
civilizations, like
know,
the
but-
Khalifas and
they killed them off. Or
they burnt them.
They burned the books and
Bro,
the people.
witches and wizards there was no negotiation. They would kill them.
Killed them.
In all the civilizations, even Western ones.
Yeah.
Even in the UK, like the Christians, they used to slaughter witches, bro. If they found out you were a witch, they'd immediately kill you.
If you
Imagine
if
you
you
were-
cured someone who had a fever and he'd be like,
Yeah,
thank
you're
you so
done.
much. And then like the next day you'd have people like, yeah, she's a witch. My hangover was really bad. And like,
But they were more powerful. There were a lot of people, but they just got killed. All of them got killed, and with their books.
My second question was, when you talked about the previous book,
Yeah.
you said you had experiences that affected you, and you think it's
Yes.
related to people who are following that
Yeah.
book and all of that.
But I didn't read the book. I just talked.
I know.
about it. I opened
But-
the topic when it was closed off for a very long
Yeah.
time.
So you're talking about a book that's probably more dangerous. Oh, I mean, you're saying it's more dangerous than
Yeah.
the other one. I understand that there's not much people who are like following it and all of that. Like you're saying, they've all been killed off. And are you worried at all about like talking about this and bringing attention?
I'm not
to it?
worried at all because no one will get the book. Maybe I was affected because people actually found Shams al-Ma'arif. They were able to get the book. But Al-Ghazali, no one's ever going to be able to get the book. No one.
But do you believe
You have to be a billionaire to actually find that 1, 2, or 3 copies left in the world to actually get your hands on one.
well, Ibrahim, we have a surprise for you.
Imagine.
Can you imagine? He's like, oh shit.
I gotta go, guys.
No, but my question was that, like, for example, like all this stories of, like, for example, Suleiman, who was like the
He was the king, the richest. He
king
was-
of jinns, okay, and then we have the
He's a prophet.
of Prophet Suleiman, and then we have Prophet Moses,
Yes.
who was one who not practiced, but let's say performed in a way of something like of turning a staff to a
No.
serpent.
Prophet Moses was not. I don't think it was involved with jinns. It was involved with angels. So
No, but
he had natural powers. It was a gift.
See, in Arabic, prophet is Rasul, meaning that like they are the person who are messenger. Nabi and Rasul, which Rasul.
There's a difference between Nabi and Rasul.
But Rasul means that messenger.
There are less Rasuls than Nabis.
Can you explain that? Because I don't know.
Oh, that's.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Like
I've seen a sheikh speak about this. There are, or it's maybe the opposite, but there are Nabis and Rasuls are not the same.
Okay.
Like Prophet Muhammad is a Rasul.
Yes.
Ibrahim is a Rasul.
Okay.
Isa is a Rasul.
Jesus.
Obviously, you can call them Nabi. Like I could say Nabi Muhammad. I could say Nabi Isa. You know? But Nabis are not... Bro, I need to call someone to double check.
It's okay.
Because
like,
one is higher than the other. One is higher than the other. I'm not sure if it's Nabi higher than Rasul or Rasul higher than Nabi.
No, but my question coming back to it is that, like, for example, why is it that, like, this book in particular and this family, for example, is associating something that was supposedly told that like a prophet were capable of with something that's now considered as black magic. Like as in like it's like as in like you get what I'm.
I get what. So he's
like,
he's saying that how come it was okay for the King Solomon, right?
Yeah.
To converse with these jinns and stuff, but this family that tries to converse with jinns is seen as evil, and you know, what's the difference?
See, Prophet Sulaiman lived before the civilizations of where witchcraft was considered bad. Maybe it was a thing, but he was just the best at it. And plus, he was a prophet. He was allowed by God to do this. You know what I mean? And the jinns that were on his team were the jinns that used to worship Allah. They're not the bad jinns. They're the good ones.
Yeah, because there is a difference, right? There is
a
good jinns and bad
yes.
jinns.
And there are, and also for jinns, technically in their world, if you affiliate in black magic with a human, you're doing something haram.
That's what I heard. Jinns
For
are
them,
like
they are sinning if they do black magic as well.
it's like a different species that's there, you know, because from my understanding there is the jinns world, which is exactly like a mirror of ours. Yeah, exactly. It's just that they don't converse, you know, and bringing someone from that to here can have consequences and stuff. But again, it's a very interesting topic, but at the same time, it's something that can't be really set like, you know, it's the same with anything, right? Anything you learn can be used either for good or for bad, right? You can extort people, you can do whatever. And this family and this Ghazali, you know, it's same like this, like the Salem witch trials, right? They were in the U.S. They murdered how many women because they thought they were all the harlots of Satan. They're like, but studies show that some of these women were actually targets of, you know, political campaigns. Someone wanted to take their farm. Someone wanted to do this, you know, or they didn't like the woman, so they made up these rumors. But the thing is that with this book, you know, again, it's already been destroyed, so you can't really have that discussion of. That's why I was saying, like, if it's been destroyed and stuff, it's like someone saying, you know, any ship that sees a kraken or like, you know, a sea monster gets destroyed. But then how do you know the story if all the ships get destroyed and people get killed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you see the ship, you're dead. But then who survived and saw it and said, yeah, I was lucky, you know? So it's an interesting concept, and I think if... you know my stance on these things. It's like, you know, you have to understand it really. For me, Ebrahim, what I would ask you is that, you know, you have these videos and you do a lot of vetting and you look into a lot of these stories, but a lot of them, like you've seen these videos, we share it with each other and stuff. Yeah. There's videos out there of like 40, 50-year-old men digging, and then they're like, oh, shaitan's on your left, like there's a devil on your left, there's a jinn, and it's a guy in a mask.
Yeah, bro, these things.
And the guy is sitting.
My algorithm gets these.
No,
I'm not even on social media, so I'm so lost.
These things are all rubbish, bro.
But there's such a large, you know, like, don't you find it ridiculous? Like when you look into the comments and someone goes, brother, you need to wash yourself 4 times. Like, it's a guy in a suit. And he, like, imagine you're filming him, and there's like I saw one video of these 2 guys. I don't know where it was, maybe Iraq or something. And they were in a cave and they were digging. They were just like digging on the floor. And one guy in the back's eyes were rolling back. It just looked like the guy was high as hell. And then on the right, like, bro, at the end of the cave, you see a guy sitting down and he's wearing a mask.
The black mask. With
And they're like, don't look at him. Don't look at me. Don't look at him.
I saw these videos.
And the guy,
very
have you seen those, have you seen those Serbians and stuff who sit, with their legs in when they wear the, the sports track suit and they have the cigar and they have like he was sitting exactly the same. And you have people that go crazy, and then you see these young Saudi kids and stuff that go to haunted areas, and that's a guy running towards them in an outfit. How do you?
It's like all those Bigfoot videos that you
How-
see, and it's clearly a guy
bro,
in an outfit from Halloween. Like,
when jinns look at these people inside their homes, because they're inside they're caves, right? That's where like jinns live. I heard like in sewages, caves, corners of houses, like abandoned places, stuff like that.
great. There's a lot of corners.
Yeah, there's actually more than 4 in this room.
Yeah.
We're outnumbered, boys.
And yeah, I mean, they look at these idiots and they laugh at them. Obviously, like it's just they're just deceiving kids. I mean, it's like you can consider it like it's just entertainment, just entertaining videos to scare the audience. But they do go viral.
Yeah, of
But
course
have
they
you
do.
seen videos that actually like scared the shit out of you on the internet, like ghost or jinn related?
Bro, you can never. This is something that you have to know. You can never ever see a jinn. Impossible.
No, but like ghost creatures.
Impossible. Islamically proven. You cannot see a jinn. We have something called the Ghisha. We cannot see their world, and a lot of them cannot see us. By the way, the ones that come in contact with humans,
They get scared.
no, they are powerful because not all jinns can come to our realm or our dimension. You need to have some sort of power to be able to come to our world.
You know what's really funny? Imagine in the jinns world, you like accidentally brush up on them and they freak out. Like, have you seen the movie The Others?
No.
Okay, so the movie about The Others is that it's Nicole Kidman and she's with her kids and she lives in a very faraway mansion from a rich family. She's waiting for her husband to come back from the war. And in the movie, first of all, both her kids, for some reason, are sensitive to the light in the house. So she always puts the curtains, right? And throughout the movie, you realize they're being haunted. The kids are being terrified and all this kind of stuff. And sometimes the mother, Nicole Kidman, would see like someone running or someone would close a door and stuff like that. And then one time she goes out and she sees her husband. And her husband's walking to the house, like it's a huge manor, so it's very long. And she goes, "Oh, my love, you're back." And he looks very confused. And he's like, "What are you doing out here in France?" And she goes, "We're at the mansion. What are you talking about?" And then he goes, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Come back to the house." And then when she comes back to the house, he turns around and he has a hole in his head. So he's dead. He's dead, yeah. And then as the movie goes on, they realize that someone is actually trying to get them out of the house. But long story short, they are actually dead. And there's a family living in the house, and the family gets an exorcist, and the exorcist is trying to remove them from the house. It's a very interesting concept.
Well, thanks for spoiling the whole
Yeah,
movie.
it's by the way.
I can't even watch it because you told me how it ends.
Listen,
You had your chance, man. You want to watch a scary movie? Go watch this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kiss my ass, bro. I gave it good. Like, I saved you time, but you should watch it. It's a very good movie. You should watch it. It's a really good movie.
What's it called again?
Insidious out now.
It's called
The
The
Others?
Others. It's called The Others. And it's a very interesting concept. And, like, some of your fans will rip into me, be like, this guy, he's making jokes. 2 hitmen towards his house. But the thing is that, like, it's a funny concept. Like, can you imagine that?
These fans do not like you.
No, they like Faisal. A lot of them do.
When he made the Big Daddy joke, like, all your comment section was like...
No, there were
This
some
guy's gotta
laughing
get
with
it.
him, some going against him.
Yeah, some were like...
No, but that's the
Most
thing.
people
This
hate you
internet.
and
This
I,
is the
'cause, like,
internet.
you and I do funny shit. Like
You and I
like,
got hated on the main episode, not on
Main
the
episode.
clips.
Yeah,
on the
true.
clips phase, I got the...
Why?
Because we cut you off with stupid jokes a lot. Yeah.
It's our thing,
You
man.
deserve it. Thank you.
No, but it's a podcast.
Hey.
Thank
You know
you.
what? I'm going to say this to your fans. It's a podcast, not a TED Talk, okay? Get over it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
by the way,
You know what?
exactly.
If you don't like it,
No.
But
So wait, guys,
I understand you don't like it.
guys, going back to that topic, yeah. Just to explain the world of jinns, people think jinns are like ghosts. They're not ghosts. Yeah, there's female, there's male, there's mothers, there's fathers, there's children, there's young, there's old. There's rich, there's poor, there's students, there's teachers. It's a whole community.
If
Whole
a te-
species of.
No, there's like it's a whole community like us, you know. Like there are
they
jinns that
die?
are privileged, there are jinns that are weak. There are yeah.
They die.
They do die, but they live longer than us. They do die. Some live as short as us, and some live like for example, Iblis. He lived way before Adam was created, and he's still alive, and he will be the last creature to die.
Yeah, but
Lucifer,
because
Iblis.
the concept is that
Iblis is a jinn.
Iblis is a jinn, but the most powerful. He's the father of jinns. He's Lucifer. He's the what non-Muslims call him, the fallen angel. He's not a fallen angel because he was in paradise and he got kicked out
But that's a
with
fallen
Adam
angel.
and Eve.
But that's a fallen angel.
Just
That's the concept of
but
fallen
he is not an angel.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
he was
the
made from
concept
fire,
is
yeah.
basically is that like angels were created from light, and humans were created from mud,
Dirt, yeah.
dirt. Like that's what.
And
humans
jinns were created from fire.
Jinns were created from fire. So that's what the devil, fallen angel, and everything is. They all like even like I know you watch Supernatural. Like the whole concept is that like he's a fallen angel. He's actually like the God's favorite son, like the God's favorite creation, and everything like that. No, it was the fact that like no, he wasn't an angel. He was a jinn, but he was like the most favorite. But at the end, he was created from fire, not light or dirt. It was fire.
Let me give you a very nice piece of info. It's very short. So, in witchcraft, you know roosters. In witchcraft, roosters, the blood of a rooster is actually a sacrifice. Do you know why?
No. What?
Because roosters do that sound
When it's
early
morning.
in the morning when they see angels come down.
So they come
So they
out
are
at 5
blessed.
a.m.?
They are blessed animals because they can see angels. So when you kill a rooster and use its blood, it can be used for witchcraft. It's a sacrifice.
That's a very interesting concept.
So angels come down at a very inconvenient time. It's 5 a.m., man.
Astaghfirullah.
No, but you know what's funny? That's actually so. I was reading the philosophy of the devil, right?
Different time zones, man. They catch you in the train.
Going to Jahannam.
Signed, sealed, confirmed. Blue tick.
Iblis,
Apparently that's
welcome
where all
to
the
the
fun
team.
It's like a lot of people tell me they're like, for what you said, you're going to hell. I'm like, man, I'm the one flying the jet.
I mean, that's where all the fun people are, apparently. So.
No, but you know, Ibrahim, that's a thing, right? So
It kind of makes sense.
All the fun people are there?
Like all the rappers,
Oh, those
the
are fun.
people you listen to, I can't say it, bro. My
Yeah,
friends are
you
watching.
try. Wait, hold up. I'll give you a best.
You know what I was
example.
gonna say?
You trying to party up with the Queen, not Queen Elizabeth, the Queen like from the band.
I would rather not.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I would rather not have fun with these people and meet the
Gandhi?
prophets. The prophets in paradise.
Sorry, like,
I
I'm
don't
wrong.
think they're letting me in, so I guess I'll hang out with the queen.
Do you want to party up with Queen or Gandhi? Like
Apparently, Gandhi was a child molester.
Yeah.
dope.
You didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah.
this?
Map. He was a map.
No.
He was the
Don't-
first map.
Do not.
He put them on the map. Like,
No, he would sleep with 13-year-olds to test himself. Yeah. I don't think if he succeeded. I don't know if he succeeded or not.
Has there been an elite that was not related to
Tesla? I don't think
fucking children?
Elon
Like,
Musk.
Elon Musk, Tesla.
You know-
no, I meant actual Tesla. Nikola
Oh,
Tesla.
Nikola
Yeah.
Tesla.
I don't think there's any story.
Was there any elite that has not been
Nikola Tesla was not.
that has
elite.
not slept with
poor.
children?
I think you should check out a person called Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman king, emperor. He's known as one of the last 4 great kings of the Roman Empire. And he actually had a memoir he wrote. It was like a diary of his days. And he actually came up with something called Stoicism. I don't know if you guys heard about this. And it's about his beliefs in life and how a man should how he should rule himself and conduct himself throughout his life. And I think he was the first actual, elite, because at the time in the Roman Empire, you were considered God, Caesar, emperor. And at that time, the Roman Empire stretched from the west all the way to the east, right? And these kings were known for having orgies, being able to sleep with children, being able to do all this kind of stuff, because it was considered that they were above the law because they made the law. They were the law, But Marcus Aurelius, actually, from his own diary, you can see that he talks about the duty of a man is to make the world a better place. And the duty of the man is to take hardship and have all these temptations, but to be clear of mind. It's a very interesting, and I was very interested in it because, he was a Roman general. He was known as the philosopher king. And this discussions he has with himself, it's not like he published the book. They just found it.
It's like his diary.
It was just his diary. And the things he talked about, the temptations of his life, if he was a good king and all this, he simply wanted to be a better man than he was the day before. And it was very interesting.
All I'm imagining is him laying in his bed with his legs crossed, writing my diary today. Was I better?
There's a feather because it's feather.
But do you see how you made him seem like that by you saying that?
You just a diary.
No. But every great leader had to have, something for them to conduct their words. As a leader, maybe he had someone else. Maybe he had someone else that was writing all his memoirs and stuff. But this was his own personal thing. But he was a great king, and he was also military successful. Successfully expanded the empire. Was good in many, many ways. But you see, because he was considered someone who was well read and wrote well, you're like, oh, he's sitting in his diary.
No, that's not what I said.
God damn you, bro. Marcus is my man.
Hold on. But wait. The Roman Empire, though, one of the things is that, correct me if I'm wrong, as the times went and the more mad they got and more the shit they did, was one of them was what kind of poisoning was it? Because of the water?
Lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning.
Lead
poisoning. Because the Roman Empire themselves, the elite, had their water delivered through lead pipes. And they got lead poisoning through the water, while the normal civilians got natural stream water.
They must have installed it after Marcus.
No. It's like afterwards probably because the guy was sounded pretty sane.
And especially to the people of class and high position.
They had lead pipes water system, and therefore it led to lead poisoning.
Ibrahim, we talk about this sometimes, and we you talk about ghosts, right? Sorry, guys, to change the subject, but it actually came to my mind, right? And you were talking about lead poisoning, okay? So for me, I find things more terrifying when it's aliens for me is something that if you do it mathematically, extraterrestrial life is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Due to the size of the universe, it's gonna happen sooner or later. You don't have to have ET walking down the hall and talking, but life will be there and life will adapt and advance, right? So that for me is terrifying. Also, unexplained things for me is terrifying. There was so the British Empire were becoming they were expanding their charted maps to what's the north? The North Pole is not considered Antarctica, right? Antarctica is south, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So the English Empire sent 2 state-of-the-art ships. I don't know if you guys have heard this, to find the Northern Passage, right? And these 2 ships were state-of-the-art. They had internal heating with the ship. They had 2 crews that were very, very well experienced, and they had no they were soldiers from the Navy, but they were specialized in expeditions, right? They went to the Northern Passage, and years passed because in that time there was no telephones, there's nothing like that. They never came back home. And when they went years later, because the only reason that they had gone was because the wives of the sailors started doing protests and saying, where are our husbands? They're part of the military. You should be sending people out to get them. They found a very gruesome, these poor soldiers had experienced a hellish time at the Northern Passage, which is near the North Pole, right? Yeah. So while they were going out there, they had these ships that were made of, the hull was reinforced so they could break icebergs, because in the North Pole you have the ice that cracks and they need to break through it. One of the ships got stuck. They had to wait a whole year for the seasons to change, for the ice to loosen up so they'd even have a chance of getting the ship out there. Something happened. One of the ships collapsed due to the pressure of the ice pushing into it, which led these other men having to abandon their ships, which had their heatings. And at the time, the Eskimos were there, right? They lived in the North Pole, some areas around there, even northern Alaska. And these people actually were, they told explorers later that they saw these men wandering the ice, completely mad, screaming for help. Some of them even, because at the time you had these messaging holes that were all over the Northern Passage, where whenever a team would go through, they would put a note inside it and keep it there for the next team that would come and say, journal, log, we have found that there's, we're all doing well. We have 14 people who are alive. They found their notes and they found that these men were trying to stay very positive, but they were saying half the crew is dead, trying to find land, trying to get back home. But what they found was these men actually had gone mad, because at the time the British Empire started using lead tins for their food, and the lead actually started leaking into the food.
Shit.
So the men started killing each other, and the men started the commanders had to shoot men because they were foaming from the mouth, becoming rabid, And some of them were even saying that something was chasing them in the snow, polar bear, something. But they believed that the polar bear was actually a spirit from the Eskimo people, because they had shot some of the Eskimo men to steal their things. Because at the time, Eskimos believed in fair trade. I'll give you meat, you give me a rifle, or you give me some jewelry or something like that.
They gave them bullets.
Yeah,
Took the
yeah, and and there were many
For a
conspiracies.
hamburger.
No, but there are many conspiracies that came up, and if you look more into it, they really died gruesome deaths. And apparently, even some Eskimos said, "Yeah, we saw one man remaining, and he was asking for water and stuff, and we just left him because the Eskimos, because these people were violent, they steered far away from them." This kind of stuff for me is more terrifying than.
Speaking of foaming out of the mouth, did you guys see that video of, I think the guy is Indian, he has rabies. And
It's terrifying.
I don't know if you guys
He's
saw
dead.
the video
When
or
he
not.
drinks water.
When he drinks water,
Bro.
he's scared of it.
Bro, yeah.
Holy shit.
wait, hold
No,
on.
no,
Elaborate.
I'll
I
explain.
thought it was fear, but then I found out that it was because of the pain. The whole
Bro,
throat is
bro.
inflamed, so anything they swallow would
no,
burn.
bro, it's just water. They become hydrophobic. That's, for me, what's scary about that, if you make a device that uses rabies as a weapon, there's a video on YouTube you guys can check that shows the stages of a man who's dying from rabies. Rabies actually makes a person hydrophobic, meaning that their body cannot accept water. They'll put it in their mouth and they'll start shaking and it will come out like vomit, it will come out. And so there was one soldier who had got rabies and they were documenting him, and there's an actual video. You see the guy dying in front of you.
It's on
He-
YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yeah. He has tremors, starts becoming violent. Yeah. And he becomes weaker. His body starts shutting down slowly because no water. What's going to happen? And he starts cramping because his muscles and stuff start twitching. And a lot of people were saying that if this became a weapon, this is because what happens if you see in animals, foxes and wolves, foxes are actually the highest catchers, the highest spreaders of rabies. And if you see an animal with rabies, it attacks you. The rabies wants to spread, so it attacks you.
It's like a zombie virus.
But that's what's terrifying, because it could be weaponized to become like a zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse.
but you die.
Yeah, but
it's
you-
not-
you don't attack people and
There's
get it.
vaccines and there's cures for rabies.
Rabies,
Yeah,
no
Only-
cure.
There's a
You know,
shot.
there is.
There's a
Only
shot that you
if
take.
you get it within the first
24 hours.
24
Yeah.
hours of
That is not a cure then. That is like you can stop it before it happens. But if you're someone who's been bitten and you don't realize it,
Oh, you're fucked. Yeah,
No, there was
I
a
actually
fucked.
thought I might have rabies.
Yeah.
I was in Cambodia on an island and they didn't have a hospital or anything. I was petting this dog that was in front of this hospital, and it bit me. And it was a hostile dog, but you can still get it from
Any animal.
From any animal.
Animal.
And then I'm like, fuck, there's no hospital. You have to wait for the next day to get a boat for like 6 hours to the closest hospital or anything. So I just grabbed a bottle of vodka, poured it on. I'm like, fuck it, let's see. Then for the next 6 months, I'm just waiting
No,
on
yeah, it
like,
No,
won't
no,
take
you'd be
6
dead.
months.
You'd be dead in a week.
no.
6 weeks actually.
No,
Wait,
one of
it
the-
can-
what if
it
you
can stay
what if you
dormant
don't
and-
get that shot in 24 hours?
You-
What's the
No, no, no.
CO2?
done.
Well,
You're
no, 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 no. There
You're
was a
gone.
one guy that it took him 6
Guaranteed.
weeks.
Even in the
Like he
hospital.
got bit by a bat, and then 6 weeks later he started like showing signs and shit, and all of a sudden he had to go to the hospital.
Bro, what's-
How the fuck are you gonna remember that? Oh yeah, by the way, when you're trying to tell your doctor what has happened, by the way, 6 weeks ago, like some random bat
What
fucking
if you
bit
start
me.
foaming out of your mouth? I think.
No, foaming out of mouth.
No,
like
but that's the
probably
thing,
wasn't like
bro. I'm not afraid of animals, right? When I saw this fox have rabies, bro, it scared the shit out of me. Their mouth is like, dude, it's like, it was trying to get into the house and it was breaking the wood. It's a fox. It's a small fox. And its teeth were bleeding because its teeth were breaking trying to get in. I was like, dude,
But if you just touch the foam with no cuts on
No,
your hand,
No, it has to enter your blood.
it has to enter your bloodstream and the saliva has to be there. That's why they foam from the mouth, because it's a sure way to get the bite in. You know what I mean?
And do animals die from rabies?
Yeah,
too?
yeah, they die. There's videos of animals that when they have rabies, in the beginning they're coherent but vicious, and then they start spasming on the floor because they can't drink also.
Yeah.
So that shit's terrifying for me. It's more terrifying than thinking about, like, okay, I could be possessed and stuff, because, even there's a fungus that mushrooms use, or I don't know, some bacteria that take control of ants and insects and bring them back to their base so they can eat it. Like it's
So have you watched Last of Us?
yeah.
Not
Okay.
yet.
The fungus in Last of Us.
Okay,
is
so they at first it was like, oh, actually the fungus from Last of Us is actually like real. That shit can be actually like it can take over the mind and everything like that.
it's still not powerful.
No, it can't. Like we're joking.
It can in a million years. It can. It can develop.
Could
A
be
million
engineered.
years, a
Could
lot
be
of other
engineered.
shit.
Could
Like,
be engineered.
It could be engineered.
And
That's
a
the
lot of things can be engineered, like even like more progressive than even like the fungus or the fungi that you're talking about. But like the actual thing right now, the one of the scariest part was that like, yo, the shit that we're watching on a show right now could be reality. But no, it's not. It's not the case at the moment.
But bro, think of it like this. You see, like the U.S. military even was experimenting with frequencies, and
Wait, guys. Sorry to cut you off. There's no way if you got rabies, second day you figured out you have rabies, you go to the hospital. There's some way for you to survive.
No. There,
Right?
it is a cure. It is
I
a
think
cure.
within
Like
the
no,
first
there is no
24
cure.
if you take a shot within that day,
He
like,
said 2 days.
oh,
Yeah,
2
I
days.
think within the first 24 to 48 hours, you're good, because my
got you.
dad got bitten by a dog here, so he went right away to the hospital, and that's what they
Rabies
told
is
him.
very hard here, like to get to.
Either way, just to be safe, you have to go to a hospital. I think there's like multiple shots within a few days, but I think within the first 24 to 48 hours is treatable, but after that you're fucked. Guys, because we have a lot of points to cover this episode, we decided to make this episode a 2-part episode. So stay tuned next week, Sunday after this episode comes on. The second part of this episode is going to come on, and we're going to continue the discussion there. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the podcast. We hope you liked the episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also don't forget to follow Ebrahim on his social media.
See you next week. But we will keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah.
For part 2.
All right. See you next week.
See ya.
See you guys.